I don't know what happened there with the end of my opening, but anyway, guys, listen. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Glad to see y'all in the building. And yes, I'm back from vacation, okay? And had a good time. I was in Sonoma, California. It was a good time. Maybe we'll chat about that on the weekend. But we're here for trending topics today. It's trending topics Tuesday, okay? And the title is Not Ready. Not ready. You know, Angela Simmons, she comes from an entertainment family. And I will say this, I always feel for the children that have very successful known parents, okay? And when I mean known, like their parents in the entertainment industry, so forth and so on. Like imagine trying to come behind a Beyonce and Jay-Z. Imagine being one of the Kardashian kids. I mean, take any celebrity, Jennifer Lopez, take any celebrity that's well known and imagine being the offspring of one of those celebrities because people are always going to compare you. You LeBron James' son, they want you to do better in the NBA than LeBron. They got high expectations. They're always going to compare you. You know, you Angela Bassett kid. And you try to act, they're going to be like, Dad, you can't act, but your mama can. So it's not easy being the offspring of a well-known person because people want to say, well, what are you doing in comparison to your mom and dad? So Angela Simmons, her dad is, what's her dad? Rev Run is her dad. His government name is slipping my mind right now. If you know his government name, talk to me. Right? So Rev Run is her dad, and Angela Simmons, she has one child, she has a son, and her baby daddy. The baby daddy was pow down. So she goes to the BET Awards, and what does she do at the BET Awards? She wears a pocketbook that resembles a pow. And people like, girl, you're not reading the room. They was like, are you dumb, stupid, or both? How could you do that? She was like, I wasn't thinking. It was just, I thought it was a cute purse. I was trying to make a fashion statement. I mean, who is her stylist? Not ready. Not ready. I think, you know, Angela, she needs therapy. She needs to go sit down somewhere. And she needs to go sit down somewhere because she's been through too much. And she's in this relationship now. She's just all over the place. Not ready. We're going to talk about Angela Simmons. Then we're going to talk about this. I think his name is Justin. He's a Top Chef alum. And a lot of these people from that cooking show, the Top Chef, they got issues. They got issues. Yeah, they do. So the last one we talked about, he was living in Brooklyn, didn't want to pay rent for his apartment, owed the landlord something to the tune of $400,000. And they finally got him out of the apartment. When this Top Chef, he got a problem with his hands. Put his hands on the girlfriend. Yeah, he did. Got arrested. We're going to talk about it. You know what? And we gotta have a discussion, ladies. Like, how do we find ourselves in these relationships? And when we find ourselves in these relationships, why do we stay? Why do we stay? Well, he got arrested. We're going to talk about it. And he's not ready. You a Top Chef. You had so many opportunities, and you don't know how to control yourself. Not ready. What a waste. Then we got the ultimate not ready. And just because I got to tell this story, that don't mean I don't like her. But Taraji P. Henson, she not ready. She done messed up the color purple and that whole success they was supposed to have. Crying about she broke, she not this, she don't have that. Her agents and everybody get all her money when she worked. So BET, they felt sorry for her. They let her host the BET Awards. And she don't know one person for another. I think that, what's the young lady name that played the Little Mermaid? She calling her Halle Berry. Then it was like, oops, I'm sorry, messed up. She does this whole monologue. She's supposed to be talking to the food taster, the food critic, Keith Lee. She talking Haley Bailey. Thank you so much. She talking to the wrong person. Then when she realizes, she tried to clean it up. I said, I can't do this with her. Messy. She messy. Taraji P. Henson is not ready. And I don't care what y'all say. Y'all need to go holler at your girl, so that the next opportunity she gets, she's ready. But right now, she's not ready. Yeah, all her skits were cringe. It was cringe. Matter of fact, the BET Awards was pretty trashy. I mean, it's not what it used to be. You got what's his name? Usher doing a whole speech talking about absentee fathers, telling his ex-wife he trying to do better. He trying to be like Switch Beats and Alicia Keys in their situation. He gave Tamika hell for years. Took the boys away from her. And really, I think he took them because he didn't want to pay no money. That's what I think. But whatever, he took the boys away from her. Now he's trying to say, you know, he's trying to do better. He's trying to be a good father. Because his father wasn't there. Yeah, that speech was cringe. What was he really trying to say? Probably was really trying to say what he couldn't say about Diddy. But I'm not going to go there. I'm going to leave that alone because y'all understand. But could probably give us some understanding as to why his mother allowed him to go spend time with Diddy at such a young age anyway. See, there was no father figure in the home. And nobody to tell her, like, I don't think this is a good idea. But then, listen, if y'all didn't watch it, because let me say this too. The people he had on stage, they the father figures. If they the father figures, we in trouble. We in trouble. Yeah, that Usher speech was wild. The whole night was just, it was crazy the whole night. And I watched in bits and pieces because I had to keep propping my head up to try to stay awake. It's not what it used to be. And listen, even the people they picked to do the tribute to Usher, I was like, well, what's going on here? I remember back in the day watching the award shows. First of all, you couldn't wait to see it. You would be talking about it with your friends for like 2 days later, saying, did you see so-and-so's performance? Did you see this? Can you believe this one won versus that one? Now the whole thing is just trash. It's trash and it's trashy. Yeah, they muted the speech. I immediately thought that was because they were scared he mentions Diddy. I think folks were told not to mention him. I'm sure the folks were told not to mention Diddy. But listen, the people he had on stage with him was no better. BET has lost their touch. It's gone. It's over. It's a wrap. BET is not what it used to be. But none of these award shows are what they used to be. Everybody now, it's a fight to see who can wear the least amount of clothes. They showing all kind of stuff. I mean, you know what? It's not surprising that these after parties are wild because they're leaving nothing to the imagination. You got a dress that if you move the wrong way, they see your whole family business. Your hoo-ha. And then they don't wear no underwear. Matter of fact, they don't wear underclothes. So if you twist or turn the wrong way, you seeing everything. So imagine by the time they get to the after party and the people get the drinking and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, they dress like strippers. You right, Dot Willie. They dress like strippers. It's crazy. So listen, before I bring the people on in the building, let me talk. Let me just say this, and I'm going to leave it at this when I say it. You know, if you are a Love and Marriage Huntsville watcher, You know that for a time period, here and there, Keke Jabbar, the cousin to the Scott family, to Letitia, she passed away. And rest in peace. And I want to say this, and this to me goes to every single reality show. They have become super toxic to the point where it's not even fun to watch anymore. And I don't care which one you name, they're all toxic. You got Married to Medicine, a bunch of doctors acting foolish, breaking HIPAA, talking about each other, hazing the new girl on the block. Instead of embracing her and helping her, give her some tips about a marriage, sweet tea, they hazing her. You got the Real Housewives of Potomac, where it's this whole colorism thing going on, and it leaks out into the people, into the fans, and it just becomes super toxic. I don't care which reality show you name, it's some toxic stuff happening. And the toxic spills into the fans. Where before, when they first begun, like the Real Housewives of Atlanta, all of them, when it first started, you'd be like, oh my God, did you hear? You heard what she said? You heard what Sheree said? Who gonna check me, boo? That's the stuff we like. We like sayings like that when we could get stuff like that. Close your legs to marry men. That's what we like. When Teresa first, because it was organic and authentic, when Teresa Giudice was the first one to flip the table, I think it was at the baby christening or something like that. She flipped the table. It was all natural. And then ever since then, people started flipping tables, and it was ridiculous. The first person, yeah, come on, the white refrigerators. Come on, Felicia. That's the stuff we like. Not all of this toxic, breaking up families, talking about people, degrading people. We don't want that. Yeah, come on, D. Who has a fashion show with no fashion? How dreadful. That's what we want. All of this other nonsense that's going on, I don't like it. I personally stopped, and Love and Marriage Huntsville was one of my faves. I watched from the beginning. I personally stopped recapping it because the fans became fanatical. They became too much. People were in my chat sending me emails. It got ridiculous, and I was like, I'm not doing this no more. I'm done. It's just too toxic. And you know what? And I also didn't come up here to do that either. I didn't come up here to do that. I don't mind. I love to recap a show, but I didn't come up here so that I could be like, oh, that people could be spawning on me. The fans ruined the show. But you know who else outside of the fans ruined the show? It's the talent too. Because the talent started coming on YouTube. The talent started spilling out the show before it happened. It just got messy. But I wish we could get back to the days where we just got our little lines that we can say. To this day, people say, who gonna check me, boo? To this day. That's classic reality TV. And I don't know if y'all used to watch the Real Housewives of New York. I used to love Dorinda. Come on now, Special K, fix your face. Remember when she at the reunion, she said, where's your scooter? Where is your scooter? Come on now. I want to get back to those days. Fix it, Jesus. Come on. I want to get back to those days. Then I could watch it. But all of this stuff now is getting too toxic. The fans are threatening other fans. The cast members are threatening cast. It's getting toxic. And you want to know to me what's the saddest part of it all? All of them are so foolish, they're messing up their bag. They better come speak to the people that got to work a regular 9 to 5 and only get 2 days off a year, can't be late, fighting traffic every day. get to go on maybe at best after they done saved all their coins together, one vacation a year, struggling to pay their own bills in for their kids to go to school or college. And they have the opportunity to clear 90K in 1 month and they acting stupid. I mean, how dumb are you? But listen, girl, everybody, let's bring the people in the building. Come on now. Which y'all know what I need in the chat. What do I need? Come on, Tay Tay. I appreciate you. I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Tuesday night trending topics, and the topic is not ready. Angela Simmons, not reading the room. Who gets a purse with all of this violence going on, especially all of the violence in the Black community, especially because your own baby daddy is not here because of pow violence, and you wear a purse that is made out of like a pow, and then you're posing like this. I mean, girl, Run, talk to your daughter. And where's her sister? I haven't heard or seen her sister in a long time. Come talk to your sister. And she got brothers. Somebody talk to Angela Simmons, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about these toxic chefs. You're going to talk about these men who feel like they don't know how to keep their hands to themselves. And Taraji is Taraji. We're going to talk about it. Let me go ahead and bring the people in the building. Hey, Leo.
Hey, Diva. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Here, in my opinion.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, opinion.
Hey, Felicia.
Hey, let's get these likes up. Come on now.
Come on, get the lights up. Hey, E. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Tay Tay. Hey, Savannah.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday.
Hey, Diva. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Julius. Okay, we got 1 seat left in the building. If you want to come up and hang out with us and chat with us today, click on the link. We'll welcome you in the building. But we're going to go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and talk about Angela Simmons. Okay, we need her Rev Ron, right, to come talk to his daughter. Somebody need to talk to her because she had to apologize. You want to know what I think the problem is too these days? These celebrities, either they don't want to pay them or they can't afford them. I'm not quite sure what the story is, but none of them seem to have good publicists anymore. Where are your people? And first of all, if she has a stylist, okay, if she has a stylist, her stylist needs to be fired ASAP because this was a bad decision, okay? So Angela Simmons apologizes for wearing a pow purse to BET Awards. She said it was a mistake. Okay. If you say it's a mistake, all right. Let's look at this. And everything now is see-through. Everybody got to sell all their good business. Okay. Let's go ahead and play this video real quick. That's her walking down. There's the purse. Who helped her make this decision? She couldn't even get that phone in the purse. Okay, let me pause that. Let's get into this story. Hold on 1 second. Angela Simmons, whose ex-fiance Sutton was fatally powed in 2018, apologized for wearing a bedazzled pow-shaped purse to the 2024 BET Awards on Sunday. I want to address the recent incident involving the green purse I carried at the BET Awards. When I chose the purse, I believed it was cute and unique, and I made a poor decision in using it as an accessory to amplify my beauty, she wrote on her Instagram stories Monday night. I deeply regret that this item, which symbolizes a pow, was inappropriate and insensitive, especially given my personal and community experiences with pow violence, she continued. So that's how she's holding it in one of the pictures. Okay, that's her long statement that she put on her Instagram story. Okay, then that is her posing. Okay, Look at this. Simmons says she understands the pain and hurt her ensemble has caused people who directly impacted by pow violence. Okay. Simmons 36 says she understands the pain and hurt her ensemble has caused people who are directly impacted by pow violence. The Runs House alum who shares 7-year-old son Sutton with Tennyson wrote that though she has lived her life exemplifying peace, unification, and the resolution of gun violence in America, she saw firsthand the devastating impact of gun violence when her baby daddy was killed. Gun violence is a disease that has taken too many lives, particularly among young people and Black men. By carrying this purse, I did not intend to promote it in any way. It was a mistake that does not define who I am or my commitment to ending that type of violence. To anyone who was hurt or offended by my actions, I offer my deepest apologies. Okay. Not only that, look at this. Her holding it there, her posing with it. I mean, this was just a bad decision all the way around. Okay. Simmons says she will continue to dedicate herself to making peace a reality for millions of children and families across America. On Sunday, the Mama One hit the BET Awards red carpet wearing a strapless, plunging green gown and adorned with green jewels. She completed her look with the bedazzled green gun clutch and a pair of heels. At one point, the former reality star pointed the faux weapon at the paparazzi as she posed for pictures on the red carpet. As her, the baby daddy, and her son when he was younger. More pictures. However, Simmons faced criticism for the post online, with several users calling her out for being corny and cringe. This was in very poor taste, one person commented, while another said, Glock Kutch is insane. I can't defend this one. Usually I take up for you. Tennyson, who was pow 13 times in the chest, stomach, legs, and arms as he stood in his driveway in November 2018. Michael Williams was arrested and charged with the murder and was sentenced to life in prison in April of 2022. Who just not ready? Leo, what are your thoughts?
I say, girl, especially when I look at the pictures. Oh, girl. Yeah, definitely poor judgment. I think she probably lives in a bubble, and whoever is her stylist or the people that's around her, she really did rock that as if she thought that was cute. All this staging with the pow in your hand and pointing it. She's actually too old to really think that that was a good look. It was terrible. It was terrible. It wasn't. It was non-value added. I don't know. Maybe she didn't talk to her mom and daddy. I don't know. But I can say this: she won't be doing that again, and she will be more conscious of the things that she present herself out with out in the public. Because this ain't it. I don't know why she couldn't see it, wasn't it? Who does this? She must definitely live in a bubble and could not see. Not just inappropriate, but it was ugly. Like it was not flattering at all. And Diva, as far as the award shows go, I think the I thought it was trash too, but I take it as I'm not their audience. I think that I tried to, peruse the little YouTube streets with the younger people, and they were engaged with it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched different clips. I really didn't find anybody's performance that captivating. I didn't get on my feet. I ain't clap. I didn't sing along with the song. The most engaged I felt was Lauryn Hill. That was them, because really her rhyming put them young girls to shame. Lauryn Hill really got them chops to rhyme. But other than that, all that nakedness and not even really having coordinated outfits that were even flattering to their bodies, it was cringe all the way through. It was just not my taste. But she probably thought she was fitting in with the culture. It is BET. They got the host that they pretty much trash. They got the host that they, pretty much we'll get to it. That's all I got.
Yeah, I hear you. In my opinion, your thoughts?
She knew better. She didn't care, and she did what she did. So now she gonna get what she get.
Oh, well, there you have it. I appreciate you. Katrina, you're up.
No, quick. The thing that gets me with her is, first of all, your dad, one of his group members, was pop out. Okay,
That's right.
your
Come on,
bo-
talk, Katrina. Right.
your boyfriend brother was pop out, and your baby daddy was pop out. Picking up a pow pow, even if it is a ensemble or something that a article that match your outfit, that was in poor taste, girl. You could have just got a regular clutch and went on by your way, and then you out there pointing it like it is a pow pow. You made yourself look more stupider. It's just ridiculous that you even want to even think of a pow pow at that certain time. I mean, at this moment of time, knowing what your family and the people around you have been through. It's sick. It's disgusting. And yes, you should get a lot of backlash because everybody around you is down. I mean, it's dying from pow pows. So how stupid could you be? That's all I got, girl.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, you're up.
Hey, so it feels so good to be back. Welcome back, Diva.
Back to you. Yes, thank you.
Yes, I have to say, Angela is not known for her brains.
Mhm.
Angela is known for being a thick and curvaceous woman who is the daughter of a hip hop pioneer. If anybody watched Run's House, you know that Angela is not the sharpest pencil in the box. She always wanted to model. She went to the Fashion
Say it
Institute of
again.
Technology, and all she wants to do is wear clothes once, spend somebody else's money, and take pictures. So Angela is not looking at any crime statistics, and I doubt that she is in touch with what is going on in the urban community, despite so many people losing their lives to um, pow pow violence. I think she's totally oblivious to it. She's in her own bubble. And I will say this, her carrying that handbag was totally on brand for what has been going on in her life for the past decade. Her
Mhm.
child's father, God rest his soul, I don't know if you all remember, he was battling a heap of drug felony charges before his unaliving. He had a few pow pows too. And this new man that she's with, who she's raising that son with, Yo Gotti has several associates behind bars. He's not squeaky clean. And I don't care what Angela's copy and paste statement was. What was most telling to me was what Yo Gotti said afterward. He said she was just practicing. And so if she was just practicing, that tells me he's on his young Jeezy. He got a few pow pows at the house too. So I don't think that it was a mistake. I think it was intentional. I think that she thought it was cute. And I feel like once she saw the backlash, that's when she said, okay, wait a minute, let me reel this in. But if you ask me, I don't think she gave a damn. I don't think she cared about anybody who had passed to pow pow violence, because if she did, she would have never picked it up. And if the boyfriend cared, he wouldn't have said that she was just practicing. So it's all a joke. I don't take it serious.
Yeah, that's a shame. You too. Felicia, you're up.
Well, this isn't the first tasteless thing Angela has done. She's very much endeared in the community, and so perhaps she thought she could do a Donald Trump and go out there and do what she wanted. But somebody checked her because she wrote a whole lot about what she did. So that's what has me amiss here. I agree. She did it. She probably had a couple of people tell her it didn't even look good together, but she was going to go do that. And then she got backlash from somebody. I don't know, because I don't really know her history and who she hangs out with. But that statement was lengthy, and it talked about a whole lot of things that, in retrospect, she probably didn't think she was going to have to answer to. And as far as the wardrobe, it looked like the rest of the trash out there. Didn't you show us last night? Ray J had a little backpack. Allegedly, he had something in there too. So, I'm not offended on that end, because that's where she was. She was in a trash event. It was like Savannah said last night. It looked like the old school Source Awards. So I don't think that was it. I think there's something else. Somebody that maybe is going to help promote whatever she's got coming out, that said that wasn't a good look, and she thought, let me go write about it and apologize, because she said she deeply apologized, and so maybe she's understanding economics. Who knows? I'm done.
Yeah. Woo. Thank you. I appreciate you. Tay, you're up.
I would say, girl, why you have that, you know what, at the BET war? You, girl, you got hot flash, black flash, because you bring that right there. BET ain't way like it used to no more. Way back in those days, BET was good those days. By the way, I like that dress you wearing, but I don't like that. That look like a purse. Is it, Diva? No, thank you. I don't want that purse. Yeah, you sell back to where it came from, please, and thank you. Because those families who lost their children or their moms, dad, you name it, because of that right there. And shame on you and shame on you. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Savannah, you're up.
So I'm not sure if it was Felicia or E who said it, but and yes, we all know that Angela isn't the smartest person tooling the shed here, but I took it as a subliminal message to someone, because I'm pretty sure her team, everyone was hyping her up and saying, thinking it was cute. And I think the scariest statement I've heard here so far in our discussion is when Leo said that the young people were eating it up and liking it and thinking it was cute. Imagine a young person out there at night, and especially in the climate that we're currently living in, with the division that cultures are experiencing currently, and they have this shaped handbag, and an overzealous police officer pulls up on them, and they see that, whether they're brandishing it, such as Angela was, but just have it on their person. It's supposed to be a purse, so you're going to have it freely out. And imagine the situation that a young person would be caught up in because they thought that this was cute. I'm tired of this younger generation, and she's not all that young. She's in her 30s. She should definitely know better. I know Justine taught them. I thought that she would have taught them better. I used to watch Run's House religiously. I thought that was one of the better reality TV shows that were on TV at that time. Uh, but Angela, I don't know. To me, she's just phony, fake. I don't know what it is about her. She's trying to fit in or do something that is not her. And I'm just sick of this younger generation of women who are supposed to be some type of role model or influence to the up and coming, of making stupid decisions, um, and justifying it with, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't think," when her whole life has been consumed by incidents of an object removing people from their lives. So I don't buy the apology. I think it was a message in some subliminal way, because Yo Gotti is always full of chaos around him. I just think this was stupid, and she knew better, but I think it was a message. She didn't think she was going to get as much backlash as she's getting. Well deserved.
Yeah, they never do though, right? Isn't that messy? They never think they're gonna get the backlash that they get. Julius, you're up.
Okay, so she's full of ish.
Oh shoot.
She full of ish. I have lost 3 cousins due to pow violence. 2 it wasn't meant for. 1 was on accident. But that's still a mystery. I know the effect that this kind of violence has. The grief, the depression, all of that. She's completely and utterly insensitive. She's dang near almost 40 years old. She ain't living under a rock. She knows better. But she was following around the entirety of the stupidness that was at that award show. I only tuned into that award show to watch the Usher tribute. And I was turned off. And it's like, really? Is this the gutter hole that we have plummeted to? See, this is why I say I only listen to my early thousands and back, and on Sundays I listen to gospel. But I guess for these ones out here, I'm too grown for them right now. That's it.
Ooh, I appreciate you, Julius. Yes, a lot of them seem to walk around with these pow-pows. A lot of them seem to, have them or whatever the case may be. It's just very, very sad. She did make a poor decision. And if she does have a stylist, she needs to get a different one. And all of them seem to need a team that's really going to be in their corner and not working against them. But as someone else stated, if a man thought it was okay, then what, right? Just totally insane, crazy. But we're going to go ahead and roll right into our next story. So our next story is about this Top Chef. It seems like a lot of people that, you know what? I won't just say Top Chef. It seems like a lot of people that go on these reality shows, they got issues. And I mean, just like with a job, you can interview somebody, but at the end of the day, you never know what you're going to get until you start working with them. I guess it's the same thing for some of these reality shows. They could do interviews, they could do background checks, but if the person is a mess, you're probably only going to find out when you find out, right? So I'll say that. So let's go ahead and get right into this Top Chef story. Let me just pull this up here. So Top Chef alum Justin Sutherland charged with threatening to pow the girlfriend, right? I don't know what is with the people in the pows. Celebrity chef Justin Sutherland is facing criminal charges for allegedly threatening to pow his girlfriend and squeezing her neck, according to the court documents obtained by Page 6. Police arrested the Top Chef alum 39 on Friday in St. Paul, and he was charged with 1 count of felony threats of violence, reckless disregard risk, according to a statement of probable cause. The criminal complaint claims the victim told police that Sutherland pointed a pow at her and struck her in the chest with it, allegedly shouting, "Don't come back here or I'm going to pow you." That is him when he was doing his chef work there. Okay, on Top Chef alum, formerly charged on Monday after appearing in court. That is him again. Okay, the woman whose name is anonymous in the light of the alleged domestic, the DV, further claimed to the officers that the fast foodie star put his hands around her neck and squeezed for several seconds. While he allegedly strangled her, Sutherland said, "I can unalive you," according to the probable cause document. The complaint also states Sutherland denied making threats against his girlfriend. Why do these men just not leave? I don't get it, right? Sutherland's attorney, John Daly, claimed the woman's allegations are riddled with falsehoods. Don't they always say that? Mr. Sutherland, and this is the word of the day because Diddy said it and so many others, vehemently denies all the allegations in the complaint. Daly told People in a statement, he never threatened to pow anyone. He did not physically assault his girlfriend. He looks forward to the truth coming out as the court process unfolds. Daly claimed the woman made the accusations upon realizing the relationship was coming to an end. Sutherland is the chef behind several well-known restaurants in the Twin Cities, such as Henson Hog, Big E, and Grey Duck Tavern. Last month, he announced plans to open new restaurants in the area in the fall. If you are experiencing DV, call the National DV Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 or go to the hotline.org. All calls are toll-free and confidential. The hotline is available 24/7 in more than 170 languages. I love the fact that it is available 24/7, and I love the fact that they have over 170 languages. Leo, what are your thoughts?
This dude here is trash. Like, he is a big old can of trash. And dealing with these dudes, he is another of the 13.2. I don't understand. Is this a new woman after he got kicked out from the New York establishment where he owed $400,000 to them for not paying his bills?
No, this is another guy. This is another guy, Leo. This is a totally different guy.
Oh, this is a different guy.
Yeah, he just happens to be from Top Chef too. This is a totally different guy.
Oh, so the Iron Chef, the Top Chef, we already know Gordon Ramsay, he a fool too. It's another one of them. Another one of them. I think his name is Flay or something like that. He a fool too. I think these men are very ego driven. That's what I was getting ready to say. You dealing with these men with these huge egos because they done been on these shows. And why is she there? Why is she dealing with this? This is probably not the first time he probably put the hands on her. Look, girl, and tell all these lies. I vehemently deny. I did not. Lies, all of his lies, and I hope it do come out in court. It's good for him. Is he still in jail?
No, he's
postponed.
He's out. Yeah.
Oh, girl. And you know, another thing too is that you give the hotline number, but I promise you, she probably back over there with him again. I'm gonna get off y'all line before I start getting upset, because you know that's just how they is.
It's how they do. In my opinion, your thoughts?
I say at the first sign of trouble, get the heck away, okay? Because these people ain't loyal to nobody, and your life is too precious to be gone in a second.
Yeah, that part right there. That's a fact right there. Thank you. In my opinion, Felicia, you're up.
Diva, I'm at a place here where I'm just tired of hearing of all this violence and all of these assaults. And, you know, I know the economy is bad. I think I'm one of the primary people that know that the economy is bad. I don't know why people are getting into these relationships where their lives are in danger all the time. I mean, we know this wasn't the first time. She just wanted it to be the last time, I suppose. And maybe these celebrity chefs aren't really getting paid. Maybe it's just a title. But I'll tell you this, he can't cook for me. And I'm not going to no Big E, no Big Dog. I don't want to be around nothing and nobody serving no food with all that hate in their heart. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
So I'm done. Done.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Savannah, you're up.
Now, this is one of my, it used to be one of my favorite shows because I'm not a huge on reality TV. So Chef Ramsay is one of my favorites. But this Top Chef is also a Bravo show, and there have been many. I don't know how they vet these contestants, because there was one contestant that put hands on another contestant while on the show. A winner was charged with SA on the show. So there's been, and this is one of the reasons why it's no longer on air, because there doesn't seem, and I think this may be true a lot about a lot of these reality TV shows. Their vetting process isn't as thorough and maybe as intricate as it should be. I'm not sure if they send them in to get any type of mental health evaluation or really go and do background checks. And I think that's all across the board here. But I don't think this is the first incident between him and his girlfriend. Uh, hey, this is going to really cost him his livelihood. Like Felicia said, who wants to go and support someone who is has this type of mentality, and the economy is bad. It's cheaper to cook at home nowadays anyway. So
Yeah, it is. It is. Thank you, Savannah. Tay, you're up.
All I say, ladies, y'all better check the background before you get into the relationship with this man right here. See what he do before you get into the relationship. That's why I'd rather be safe than sorry. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah, these shows are made for scammers. You got the lady in Salt Lake City. I don't understand. If you're gonna be a scammer, why go on TV? They go on TV when they know they scamming. That would be the last place I would rather go. If I'm scamming, I'd stay back. Look at British from Basketball Wives. You got that lady from Salt Lake City. You scamming old folks. You stealing people identity and stuff like that. But y'all go on these shows, and I hope he's telling the truth. I'm not saying that she's not, and maybe he was abusing her before now. But when he said the relationship was ending, now she's saying that she was being abused. Why didn't you come out before and say, I'm not telling no woman, don't come at me now. I'm not telling no woman what time to come out to say she was abused or whatsoever. But I hope what she's saying is true and she's not trying to mess up his career because you was with him all this time. And like people are saying, if he did it once, he going to do it again. But are you telling us the truth now because he was trying to end the relationship with you? So, because we really, really don't know. But if he was getting abused, I hope she's gone by her way and like Leo said, she might be cuddled up with him right now. Who knows? And it's just a lot of things that waste the public time, the police time, and you go back to that person if that person is doing this stuff to you. So obviously you wasn't scared enough because you went right back. But either way, I just hope that whatever she's saying is true. And if he's found out, he would be, he'll be guilty or whatever, and we'll know it'll come to light. Because, like I said, if you've been staying with this man all this time, and you saying now he's abusing you, he want to leave, we have to look at that in a way too. If she's telling the truth, I'm not saying she's not. I'm just saying if she's telling the truth. That's all I got, Diva.
I appreciate you. You're up.
Well, Diva, this is a topic I really, really like, my love. So let me tell you something. There are two problems here. The first problem is men. I learned it in my first marriage. Men by nature are possessive. And when they enter into relationships with a woman, they want to occupy total control over a woman's body, our comings and goings, our innermost thoughts and feelings, what we wear, what we eat. And the second you want to leave, they will blow up your phone 2,000 times, drive over to your mother's house, scare the bejesus out of your parents' neighbors, drive past your job. Listen, these men in all colors are a piece of work. And every man who I have initiated a breakup with, the man did not take it well. Okay? I say that to say there is an inconvenience process when trying to slowly break away from someone, because when you're dealing with someone who is possessive and controlling and who has these violent tendencies, sometimes you got to ease into it. I understand that. And, in my previous situations, I found myself having to coddle a man's ego. Despite me trying to let him go, I'm trying to leave, but I still have to use gentle wording and compromise because I had to consider my own safety. We have to stop letting men into our personal business so quickly, and so easily. I feel like there should be an obstacle course that these men have to go through in order to get close to us. We can't let them know where we live. We can't give them our phone number. I learned something from my little cousin. Don't give them the number. Just give them your Instagram. There's a lot that a person can do with your phone number. They don't need our phone number. They don't need any personal, confidential, or identified markers so that they can find us, because these men will get all up in your life. Beware. Second problem, these pow-pows. The Supreme Court, and I don't have the ruling in front of me. Somebody in the chat fact check me. They ruled either last week or this week that if anybody, no matter their gender, has a previous history of DV, then they are ineligible of obtaining a license, and they should not be allowed to own a pow-pow. That's one thing. The problem is, especially if you live in the state of Georgia, you don't need a license to carry. Thank you to our governor. So everybody has a pow-pow. And when we put these things and make them so easily accessible, people are going to do what they're going to do anyway, because some people who own them don't own them legally. But in the case that you do, we're putting these things in the hands of people who already have certain triggers, certain emotional instabilities, certain mental tics going on. And when we give something which I would consider to be a tool of destruction in the hand of somebody who is possessive, controlling, dominating, and someone who does not take rejection easily, that is a problem. And so we're not going to come to a resolution tonight, but what I will say, we need to take this energy down to our representatives, because the laws in this country, as far as these pow-pows go, need to be changed. And as far as men who are displaying tendencies of violence, that there needs to be a registry. And I know some people may disagree with that, but I do feel like if a woman has had to come forward, go down to the police station and file a report, I feel like there should be a database, just like we can see the people who are essaying children. If I meet a man in the grocery store, I need to be able to go online and see how many women have you tried to knock their head off their shoulders before. That would be beneficial to me, and I think that the men will want to know that too in regards to the women that they date. And it's just forward thinking. I think we are seeing these stories too often, as far as people who cannot and will not keep their hands to themselves, and scaring people who no longer want to be in relationship with them, to the point where they are scared for their safety. They cannot go to work. They cannot live a healthy existence. And it's not fair. And we need to do something about it.
No, I do agree with you. It's very sad. Very sad. Julius, you're up.
The fool is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He crazy. He just like his former president, crazy. Think he can have his own way with everything, and when things don't go his own way, he have a fit. That's all.
Thank you. Dustin, any thoughts on this story?
No, I'm just here to support you tonight, Diva.
Okay, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So I do want to, because you brought up a really good point, E. I got time to squeeze this in really quickly. I wasn't going to show this, but I do want to show this because it's a prime example of how they do not take DV seriously in these courts when people are trying to get help. It's very sad. Let's listen to this unfortunate story.
Or even been helped by this woman. She was a CTA security guard, but when she needed to get guns out of the hands of her abuser, no one helped her. China Mitchell was gunned down in January. CBS 2 is always investigating, and our Marissa Perlman uncovered how so few guns are being taken away at one of the most critical points for victims of domestic violence.
Olivia Foster's big brown eyes have seen a lot of darkness in her 4 years of life. Eyes the same as her mom's, China Mitchell. And even in that darkness, she's become a bright light to her grandparents.
She always with her. She looked just like her mama.
In January, China became one of the latest domestic violence victims shot and killed by her abuser. She was just 33 years old. Her funeral packed with people wearing purple ribbons for domestic violence awareness. China was a mom who loved her 3 children. Her friends called her the diva, always dressed up.
Yeah, this was one of her favorites.
Her mom can't seem to let go of it.
Rough around and go bowling or something.
China was a helpful person. Like, she helped everybody.
Pauline McQueen and China were raised like sisters.
I used to feel like, hold on. I'm good. When I used to feel like depressed or like sad, I used to call her.
So many lives ripped apart by a gun, an ex-boyfriend, and a system that makes it hard to get guns out of the hands of abusers.
And China said, Mama, I think he gonna catch me. He gonna try to kill me.
And why
When her relationship turned violent, China walked the same path as so many other survivors into a domestic violence courtroom to get an emergency order of protection. In October 2022, in this petition, China wrote her ex-boyfriend Louis Foster beat her and threatened her, saying, "I'm going to break your neck, bitch." She says he strangled her until she was unconscious. Olivia was in her mother's arms during some of the attack. "I was bleeding on the baby," China wrote. The judge gave her the protection order.
It didn't help her. Nothing helped her.
There's something else China tried to get the judge to do. In this petition, she asked for a warrant so police could take away Foster's guns. Look at these boxes she checked. Warning, Foster has a history of violence, is suicidal, and a threat to the public.
Did China ever tell you she was scared of him?
Yeah. She was scared in the sense like, oh, he can kill me. He might gonna kill me.
So what did the judge do? Nothing involving guns. We wanted to know why and got this transcript. It is everything that was said in court that day. There's not one mention of Foster's guns.
So it was worse, I think, than being denied. It was just ignored.
Benna Crawford from Legal Aid Chicago represents domestic violence survivors. We shared with her what else our investigation uncovered.
This as a critical piece and for survivors that actually keep them safe.
Take a look at this. It's data we obtained of emergency protection orders in Cook County. Each case represents a person in immediate danger. In the last 10 years alone, nearly 112,000 emergency orders were granted. We can't tell you how many people asked for guns to be taken because we found no one tracks that. But here's what we got from the Cook County Circuit Court Clerk's office. Only 85 gun seizure warrants were granted. Just 85.
It's an inappropriately low number, but it isn't surprising to me.
But what may be surprising, judges decide whether abusers can keep their guns while blind to their criminal histories.
It's just not a position that we want judges to be in when they are making these life or death decisions.
And get this, the system makes survivors bring proof of their abuser's violent criminal history to court, a responsibility China likely didn't know she had. Foster was a felon who served time related to a gun charge and couldn't legally even own a gun.
As it turned out to be true, without the issuance of that, removing his firearms, she was likely to be seriously harmed or killed.
Police say it was here on January 15th where China saw Foster with a gun. She liked going to this pawn shop to buy and sell jewelry.
China ran around the cabin, around the place. To the bathroom, He caught China in the bathroom and shot her in the chest. And when she fell on the floor, he shot her again in the side of the head.
And you would think before he pulled that trigger, because I'm pretty sure China said, what about Olivia?
Louis Foster is Olivia's dad.
I'm pretending to be happy.
Just sad, kind of gloomy.
It's sad, but I'm pretending to be happy.
Kind of gloomy.
We met China's parents, Frankie Mitchell and Brenda Ferdinand, at their home on what would have been China's 34th birthday. They're now raising all three of China's young kids.
Because it seems like she never left. But it don't seem like she's going to come back either.
She was from God. She loved everybody.
And on this birthday, Olivia remembers her mom.
Happy birthday, Mama.
And later that night, more purple.
Happy birthday, China!
China, I love you and I miss you. I tell you good night every night. And I tell you good morning every morning. And I think you're looking over me because I'm doing the best I can with your children. I love you and I'll see you later, just not yet. But please save a seat for me.
Part of the challenge China faced is Illinois' murky law involving emergency protection orders. This is a really dangerous moment for victims, yet court sources say the law is unclear as to whether judges have the authority to take away guns at that point. Lawmakers have been sitting on a bill that could help fix this problem. It's called Karina's Bill. It's been stalled for more than a year in Springfield, named after a woman gunned down by an abuser. China's accused abuser, Louis Foster, pleaded not guilty to charges of murder and being an armed habitual offender. In the newsroom, Marissa.
Whew, I'm sorry I had to show that, you guys. But yeah, I wanted to show it because unfortunately this is a major problem and the laws around it. And imagine you the one you have to prove that this is a dangerous person. To me, in this situation, thank you so much, Bianca, for writing this. In this particular situation, they should listen to the victim and go investigate. And if you made a mistake, worry about that later. At least somebody may still be alive. Yeah. So that's that Chicago mom praying for her family, praying for her kids, and may she rest in peace. It's very unfortunate what happened to her. All right, guys. And there you have information in case you are experiencing DV. There is a number there you can call, okay, if you need help and you need to speak to someone. All right, we're going to roll into this last story. The BET Awards happened. Like I said, the BET Awards was the BET Awards. I want to say it came on Sunday. My days are, blurring in, so to speak, there. With that particular, hold on one second, guys. Let me take this person out. Okay. So, the BET Awards and Taraji P. Henson was a host, okay? And, as the host, like I said, the whole show, and maybe you're summarizing it, I'll be a little lighter, Leo. You're doing it better. Maybe it just isn't for my age bracket anymore, but I was not feeling it at all whatsoever from beginning to end for the parts that I was awake and I actually saw. And then I said, I'm going to go back and watch it all in one shot again. And then I changed my mind. I'm like, nah, I'd rather not, right? So anyway, let's get into this Taraji P. Henson story and the mistake she made. So Keith Lee Speaks defends Taraji P. Henson after the 2024 BET. Don't do that. Okay. After the 2024 BET Award flub, Keith Lee criticized the producers of the BET Awards for not adequately preparing Taraji P. Henson for what she did, right? So I hate when it does all that. So social media full critic Keith Lee holds no grudge against Taraji P. Henson following the 2024 BET Awards segment on June 30th. That went wrong. Keith Lee and Taraji P. Henson were supposed to share a light moment at the BET Awards. However, Taraji didn't recognize his face in the audience and instead delivered her lines to social media comedian Jordan Howlett. Then Taraji realized she had accidentally walked past Lee and his wife. She played it off with a flirty joke that has since gone viral.
Something on my mind. Let's talk about it. First and foremost, I want
Let me see. Is this the one?
start by saying I am not upset at Taraji P. Henson by any stretch of the imagination. And not only that, in my opinion, she smoked it last night. I don't think for one second Taraji had any ill will or any ill intentions behind the situation. The situation happened the way it did. It is what it is. I made a video last night where I had the rose that was given to me in my hand and I let it fall on the floor. The reason I did this had nothing to do with Taraji P. Henson. The reason I dropped it on the floor is that I wholeheartedly believe that wasn't my rose. That wasn't my rose. That wasn't my moment. It was given to me, but it wasn't mine. And I always say, I don't want nothing that ain't mine. I want what was meant for me, nothing less, nothing more. The entire segment on the production side felt extremely rushed. Not only did it feel rushed, it did not feel intentional. It did not feel purposeful. I'm forever thankful for every room that I'm in. I was more than thankful and more than grateful to just sit there and enjoy the show. Me and my wife, we looked amazing. We felt amazing. We was enjoying the show. I've always spoke about my social anxiety. And for me, just to get out and be in that moment was more than enough for me. So to take me and my wife out of our seats, put us in different seats, give Taraji no direction to who we are or what we do, felt extremely unprepared and unprofessional to me. I'm personally a fan of Taraji. I've been for years and I always will be. I love to see her get the recognition that she deserved in that moment and had a platform and a stage that she's always deserved. For this situation to take away from her moment and our moment was unfair to both of us. And another example of this is a picture of my wife has been going around, and it was a small part caught from an entire moment to make it seem like she had an attitude with Taraji. My wife and myself understand the flirting that Taraji was doing was fully improv and fully joke. It was a hard situation for all of us to be in. We fully understand she made it up on the fly. I was there to just enjoy the show. I was invited. No situations and in life in general. I never longed for the spotlight. If I wanted the spotlight, I would have accepted a quarter of the opportunities that's been presented to us. But none of those opportunities were for me or my family. If you understand that, you understand it. If you don't, I'm okay with that. I'm always going to be myself. I've always been myself. Nothing about this journey, about this ride, about where we at or where we going to be is going to change me. Never have and never will. Never once was I upset that Taraji didn't know who I was. Everything that's for me will be for me. Everything that's for my family will be for my family. Everything that's for you will be for you. When it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to be, with no confusion. I said that last night and that was still misconstrued, and I stand on it 1,000%. Whatever room I'm supposed to be in, whoever's supposed to know me, whenever they're supposed to know me, it will happen how it's supposed to happen. Last night, while I appreciate the opportunity, it wasn't my moment, and that's okay. I'm cool with that. And for every single person that's been on this journey with me and that's still on this journey with me, I'm forever grateful. I appreciate y'all. I can't say it enough. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Y'all be safe. We all humans.
The renowned foodie influencer announced the mix-up in a TikTok video posted on July 1st, where he expressed understanding of Henson's mistake as she presented roses to notable audience members like Halle Bailey during the award ceremony. Henson approached TikToker Jordan Howlett, reciting the speech intended for Lee. As she brought over a rose to honor him, Lee conveyed that he held no grudge against the actress for the slip-up, attributing the confusion to the event production crew and their apparent lack of organization. The entire segment on the production side felt extremely rushed, Lee said. Not only did it feel rushed, it did not feel intentional. It did not feel purposeful. I'm forever thankful for every room that I'm in. I'm more than thankful and more than grateful to sit there and enjoy the show. Lee suggested that the producers should have provided guidance to Henson about his identity and career instead of leaving her to navigate the situation live on television. He called them out for being extremely unprofessional and unprepared. The social media star also expressed that he would have preferred to see the Color Purple actress receive the recognition she deserved in that moment. It was unfair to both of us, he added. Keith Lee, Taraji P. Henson, BET Awards Club. During the awkward moment, BET Awards moment, Henson playfully flirted with Lee following the mix-up, despite him being seated next to his wife, Ronnie Lee. The people called the Golden Globe winner move tacky and disrespectful, adding a fuel to the fire. A social media screenshot captured Ronnie seemingly flashing a disapproving expression during the flirtation. However, Lee clarified that both he and his wife were aware that Henson's actions were entirely improvised during the segment. Reflecting on how the now deleted video where he threw the rose from Henson on the ground, Lee explained that he discarded the rose because he didn't feel deserving of the flowers at that particular moment. Everything that's for me will be for me. Everything that's for my family will be for my family. Everything that's for you will be for you. When it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to be, with no confusion. I said that last night, and I stand 1,000% on it. Lee added, what do you think? What was BET wrong here? I got a lot to say, but I will reserve my comments for last. Leo, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, like I said, the awards, they ain't talking to me. It's not for me. It is for the younger generation. He obviously is not upset. I'm not surprised that BET rushed it. And did not give her the information, because we own these YouTube streets. We know who Keith Lee is, but my mama ain't gonna know who Keith Lee is. My dad ain't gonna know. Hell, I don't even think my good girlfriends that came over last night, they don't even do YouTube, so I'm quite sure they don't know who Keith Lee is, and we all in the same age group. So that is possibly the possibility with that. And as far as Taraji's performance, it was all on life support to me. I think she did have hosting duties last year, and nothing really happened that was that memorable. So I'm glad BET still kept her on to get her little check, because she sure does need it. And it is a B-level award show. She pretty much did a B-level performance. But I did appreciate how she got down with the renewing of the lyrics for the Kendrick Lamar song, Not Like Us. I did like that. I really did enjoy that part. But other than that, it was pretty much cringeworthy. And I say, get a girl a break, because listen, Steve Harvey announced the whole wrong Miss America, and he still keep his hosting gigs. So yeah, hers was cringy. It was, and I hope Taraji do better, because you're gonna need more checks in the future. And it's looking like don't mess up none of your goodwill that you got, because you're gonna need these people. I'm gonna get off the line on that.
Thank you. In my opinion, you're up.
So I like Keith Lee. And I love his backstory. He's very intentional with his words, but I find out that a lot of his stuff get taken out of context, and it's always some kind of miscommunication. I don't understand that. It has to be people that don't watch him, that don't know his intention. I don't think he did nothing ill-informed. I think it was they kept moving him. And I say this because they moved him 3 different times. He was actually in the seat where she went to the first time. Then they moved him down, and then they came back and moved him to the end. So I do think he was actually supposed to be in that seat, but they kept switching the seats. I didn't understand that. It felt like seat filler, where they was trying to fill up the seats, so they were just playing musical chairs with it. I just think the BET Awards dropped the ball in a major way, and it made everybody feel uncomfortable.
No, I hear you. Thank you. In my opinion, but did he need to do the video dropping the rolls on the floor though?
He didn't, but here's the thing, Diva. Everybody's do the pettiest stuff for attention, and nobody gets called out. But when he does it, everybody takes it and automatically assumes that he's talking badly about somebody. He just didn't feel like it was for him.
Gotcha. All right. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah. Like Leo said, Taraji need to, do better. I think a lot of them was intoxicated Sunday night. They all seemed like they was higher than a giraffe hips. But Usher, Taraji, Sexy Red, them. Like I said, the music is not music for us anymore. It's all rap and pop or whatsoever. Our days is R&B, blues. Something that you can feel when a person is singing. When these people singing right now, we don't even feel it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I'm not coming down on the young culture. I'm just saying how it is. I mean, most of the time you go to clubs and stuff, you don't see anybody on the dance floor really, really dancing. Half the time they ducking from pow pow going over their heads or something and happen. It's not the same anymore. When the older generation has gone, you like I said the other night, when you got Michael Jackson them not performing, you got Mariah Carey and them and all those people that could sing, that could actually sing and they could actually perform, that's gone. The BET is gone to the Sukianas and the Sexy Reds and the Lottos, whatever. It's just not the way it used to be when we watched the BET Awards or the American Awards. Those used to be the shows, and right now they're not the shows. They're all for, I guess, getting that audience to come up, because I don't think people even watch the BET Awards like they normally used to, because they have lost the class. Like when Rick James said, never mind. But anyway, it's not the same anymore, and hopefully they can up the class back to it where it used to be, because it's not there. That's all I got to do.
The award shows are almost like the reality shows now. It's just, it needs a lot of work. Felicia, I'm leaning towards you with this, right? Yeah, the road shot was intentional until he got called out, but we'll carry on. You're up.
Oh, I don't like him. Keith Lee is a troublemaker. Oh yeah, he stirs the pot for attention and then comes back with his whack story time and offers his irrelevant explanation. Bottom line is, the mess didn't go viral until he posted that rose that Taraji gave him and he threw it on the floor. That is a sign of disrespect. He knew that there were cameras there rolling all around and he was sitting on the front row. But just in case those main cameras didn't pick it up, he made sure his did. What type of man are you? You're at an award show sitting in the front row, you and your banshee wife, and you pull out your cell phone and turn on the camera and press record, throw the rolls on the floor, and then hit upload. Miss Keith has his tail between his legs. He wanted to have a moment because nobody was talking about him. I resent the mark that in that article it said, it went viral. No, nobody was talking about him last night. People were talking about Usher and the Usher acceptance speech. If we're going to talk, I'm like you, Diva. What did you say? If we're going to talk, let's talk.
If we're going to talk, let's talk. Yes, I agree with you.
Like you said, Diva, you said that you were having to hold up your chin from falling asleep because the show was so boring. Listen, Keith, within his response in that video, and I'm like you, I had to hold up my chin to keep from falling asleep on him. He said that he is not upset with Taraji, which is complete gaslighting. He's a narcissist. But if I was Taraji, I would be upset with him. If I give you a rose, we're filming something right now. Hold on to it, even if you didn't feel like it was for you, because all you had to do, hand the rose to the person sitting behind you. That's all you do. Hold on to it until you leave. You're going to dinner right after. You're going to the Diddy party. Well, not the Diddy. Who's holding the parties this year? Usher. You're going to the Usher party later. Don't litter the walkway with items that can cause us ladies walking in our Christian Louboutins and our Fendi to slip and fall just because you and your wife wanted to have a moment. If you were that uncomfortable that they moved you 3 times, then take your ass home. What adult throws something on the ground in the middle of a runway during an award show? That is so tacky and so ghetto. Like Leo said, Taraji was hosting these EBT Awards. She was also the opening act. She had to remember her lyrics. She had to remember her dance moves. As far as Keith Lee, next time, don't come. Don't come next year. You and your ridiculous wife stay home. Go to a local Burger King and review the menu. How about that? Choo choo.
Choo choo. I'm on that train with you, E, because here's the thing. You don't care about anybody recognizing you, this, that, and the other. You had to know you was going to be part of the thing because you knew they was trying to move you. And my thing is, if you just want to go there and be a regular person, then go sit up on the balcony with the regular folk. Because they're not going to drag the host to the balcony to do all that with you. He always comes back, I believe, again, my opinion, and do exactly what you say, E. Like, oh my God, did I do that? And that's not what it meant. And he constantly coming back. I'm so humble. If I wanted this, I would have took all the deals they gave me. You were invited to the BET Awards, and you didn't come as a regular person, the person you claim you want to be. You up? Yes.
We got to stop with that. Woe is me. That's what he's doing. And he's like Keon Henderson, playing with the Lord's name. I'm so humble and this, that, and the third. It wasn't my time. You know what? Go to the kitchen, make some chicken nugget and French fries and serve everybody. Get out of those front seats.
That part. Felicia, you're up.
Okay. So I'm glad I didn't tune in at all. It sounds like it was trash in and trash out. I understand. Miss Netta and Charles was there. That she gave everybody a clue. Don't tune in and don't go. Okay? Because Taraji, yeah, she had a lot of work to do. But she knew the light was going to be on her. So you had to be nearly perfect. And she just messed up in so many ways. And then she messes up with these guests, because they were supposed to be special guests. And then he's saying in this recording, well, I wanted her to have her moment. Well, why are you calling her out?
Okay, come on now, talk.
If you wanted her to have her moment, you should have gracefully accepted how things kind of went, badly. Kept the rose, like he said, give it to someone else on the way out, or just say thank you. What's the big deal? But then when we remember the whole clip with Ray J outside, trash inside, trash outside, people coming in all gangster and out of yep. Somebody's look, Miss. Look, if you did anybody see that piece with Miss Net? I'm sorry. Whew, they gave us 15 minutes of her getting prepared to go to the BET Awards. Anybody who saw that, you should not have gone, okay? It just gave you a trailer of what was to come. And so the whole night was bad. And, well, I'm sorry. Glad I wasn't there.
I appreciate you. Savannah, you're up.
I remember, it might be telling my age, but I can recall these award shows being something that we all anticipated and tuned in. The host was given binders of who was going to be there, who was going to be presenting on stage, where certain celebrities will be seated because there was pictures on their seats. And while I know that at times they were asked to move from their designated seat area, I still think that Taraji should have knew who he was, because that young man does have a huge platform. I believe he has over 10 million followers. So someone like him, and because of the other controversies that he's been in earlier this year, especially with OLG. I don't watch him. I don't know him, but I just seen him being on some of these social media realms. That he does have a strong following, but I think he's in attention 304. I really do think that he just loves being in some type of spotlight, because there was no reason for him to take the roles that she gave him and do continue to play out with the soap opera. But I do miss award shows when there were moments that we all talked about the next morning, the following morning, like Michael Jackson's Moonwalk, or Prince with his solo, and even Rick James and his famous line. But we all talked about it at the water cooler or at the coffee pot the following morning. Now we're just like, did you see that mess? And what were they wearing? And there's absolutely no grace, no respect for the music, for the art. I'm just, and I'm not tuned in. I don't know any of these. I couldn't name a Sexy Red song, Suki Who. I don't. It's just. I think BET is not what it used to be, and I believe they were sold in a new management, and it's a shame that they're not catering to the proper audiences. And Taraji was ill prepared, and she should have knew better. She was all over the place from what I seen, and I just absolutely a hot a mess that was just it's sad. It is absolutely sad to see where we have come with the art of music.
Thank you. Tay, you're up.
I do remember back in the early 2000s when Al Green and Glass Knight sing their song back in those days, long time ago in the BET. They had nobody tribute those classy songs. They sing it by themselves. And they had the Lifetime TV Award too. Same thing with Prince, but Prince got tribute by Patti LaBelle, Alicia Keys, and the other two girls. But he got a Lifetime Award too. Same thing with the OJs too.
Oh sure.
I miss
Come on now,
those
Tay
days.
Tay.
I miss those days right there. And let's not forget the JL and Will hosted the BET War a long
Come
time
on.
ago. I remember those days right there. Shaka Khan was singing "Tell Me Something Good" with Prince.
Mhm.
And we all remember what Rick James said at the BET War. I'm Rick James, baby. Okay, I had to keep it in the pause. I try not to play in the cuss word on your channel, Diva. With him and Tia, with that singing "The Fire and Desire."
Yes.
That was
Come on
good.
now.
And what they did with Michael Jackson, his tribute right there. And of course, Beyonce was singing the BET War with the Destiny Child doing the striptease with those three guys back in those days. Everybody remember what happened those days long time ago. And so that I just didn't watch the BET no more like it used to this year. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Tay. Tell the people about back in the day. Okay, go
All
ahead.
right, Tay. All right. Steve, I have a question.
Yeah.
Didn't BET get sold? Didn't it's not with the black company anymore? Didn't white people take over? Am I
Sure
tripping?
did.
I'm not sure who took over. Did
I
you
think
speak
they
on this
did.
subject yet? Did you speak on this subject yet, Katrina?
Yes, darling, I did. I was
Okay.
just asking that question.
Yeah, no problem. Julius, you're up.
The show was trash.
Oh shoot.
It was complete and utter trash.
Mm-hmm.
From that little incident with Taraji and the dude, it was trash. Like it's like I remember even like when Rick James passed and it's like the year anniversary after his passing, like Tina Marie was up there, just talk like it was like a family reunion, a coming together, a fellowship. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like, and like Tay Tay said with Destiny's Child, when they went and got like Nelly and a couple of others to do the lap dance and stuff like that, but it was tastefully done. And it's like I was disgusted. I'm like, is this what it is? Just basically no clothes on and everything else? And don't even get me started on the tribute to Usher. That was just completely and utterly disgraceful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just like not incorporating any of his choreography. None of that. The volume was off, everything. And I'm saying what I'm saying. That's why I only listen to my early 2000s and back. And on Sundays, I listen to my gospel because this trash that is out right now, I say yes, this music here today is trash with a capital T.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know, I'm glad I grew up in the era of good performances that I can remember. Like when MJ first died, Janet's tribute to him from the MTV Awards. It's not like that anymore. Like if you ain't down with the mumble jumbo, the gibberish, and you just standing around, like if you ain't with that, it's like you an antique to these kids now. Well, guess what? I'm a proud antique and I don't care. That's it. That's all.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Emmanuel, you're up.
Okay. I agree with what everybody said about the show. I thought it was horrible. Taraji, I will say I was happy that she got the job of hosting because I'm happy for her. I don't want her to be blackballed, but she did something. It was interesting. She was definitely, like, I agree with Katrina. There was some people were on something, but it was just a mess. And you got Kamala trying to quote Travis Scott. It was very bad. But I wanted to come up here to talk about Keith Lee because he may have overreacted a little bit, but we all need to respect him because the fact that you have this man who is going to defend his wife, he's going to defend that union at all cost. We need more men like this because that is one good man. Keith Lee has done so much. He has done more than probably half the people at the BET have done for ordinary folks. And the way he has helped individuals and helped them to get their restaurants back on track. He's exposed some people so they can get better at their restaurants. This is an amazing person. So he deserves respect. So I understand why he was a little mad. I really do.
But he said he wasn't mad.
He was a little upset.
So
and that's okay.
So I get it. So I guess let me ask you this. So is the message as long as you did more good than bad, then we're good?
Yeah, it's about the overall individual and the fact that he's gonna play no games about his wife.
Okay. I listen. He's young. He does great things.
Yes.
But we gotta acknowledge though, and I'll let you speak, E, that he's a little hypocritical. He does stuff and then he acts like I didn't. That it was almost like the Steve Urkel. Did I do that? Or that's not what I meant. You can respect your wife without throwing the rose on the floor. You said you knew it was a skit. So where's the disrespect? You said you knew it was a skit and it was a joke. So where's the disrespect? E, go ahead.
I can answer where's the disrespect.
Go ahead.
She went to the wrong person. So
yes.
He felt like in that moment, that wasn't for me because you ruined the moment. You went to the wrong person. And they had to point out that I'm not Keith Lee. He's Keith Lee. So that rose is invalid. I don't want somebody else's. What I want is for me. And if it's for me, it'll be given to me. That's what he was saying. He wasn't saying it was disrespectful. And he said, I don't even blame Taraji. I blame the BET Awards because they kept moving me. He wasn't putting the blame on her. He wasn't saying it was disrespectful to her. And he didn't drop the rose at the BET Awards. He did the skit at home.
E, your thoughts? What did you want to say?
Well, I just didn't see where the wife was a victim of such egregious disrespect, other than their own self-inflicted wound of not being as important as they thought they were. I think that how can I say this? it's about being classy. This person is not someone that typically goes to award shows of this type of thing. And so I didn't even know he had 10 million followers until Savannah said so. And so unless somebody is looking for food reviews, I don't see, because I never would have known about him until the story came up about OLG. He met me. I met him at the intersection where we crossed paths with something I was interested in. But I do think, you know, when other people have behaved in such a way, and I'm thinking about when that Kelly Rowland thing happened and she left and she did not want to stay. Due to Jennifer Lopez getting the bigger room. Even though I'm Team Kelly, I remember there were so many people who said, oh no, you can't do that. You're going to burn bridges. It's about reputation, this, that, and the third. Well, I want people to apply that same argument here because you were invited. Well, hold on. You were invited. And then afterward, you took to your social media and blew something completely out of proportion instead of reaching out behind the scenes to the people who invited you. Instead of DMing Taraji with your 10 million followers and saying, hey, you know, let's see how we can do something together. I want to invite you on my podcast or whatever the hell he does. I mean, me looking at this and seeing, because from my side, it looks like he's attention seeking. I wouldn't invite him or his wife anywhere else. Like I said, stay at Burger King. It's tacky.
Yeah. I'm definitely with this story in agreement with you. I mean, I don't like or dislike the young man, but there's a lot of people that are, my son said, Ma, how could you not know this person? They're well known. Well, they're well known to you and your generation. And I believe there's a million food critics that probably, he's very well known to them. I personally did not get introduced to Keith Lee and to the old lady gang also. And then I backed up into him as a result of everybody saying he saved this restaurant, he did this, he did whatever. But the words that are coming out his mouth, but listen, I'm an OG. The words that are coming out his mouth and his actions, they're conflicting. They're not the same. If you are so humble, and it really didn't matter to you, what happened at the BET Awards would have stayed there. There's a lot of stuff when I say like, oh, I'm done after the show is over, after the live is over. When I say I'm done, I'm done. I'm off to drinking my tea, preparing for the next day, going to bed at night or whatever the case may be. If he really didn't care about what happened, whether it was a BET mess up or a Taraji mess up, he would have left it at the door at the BET Awards.
Choo choo.
But he didn't. He didn't. Why? Because it mattered to him. Why? Because he cared. Why? Because he's performative. Right? So you dropped the rose on, you did a whole video and dropped the rose on the floor. Why was that necessary? Because it bothered you. So wait, let me see. I might be able to play this little snippet. Let me see. And then I'm gonna move into the feel-good story.
Married, are you?
So she messed up.
But you see how that could be a little like you could feel a little disrespected.
Well, how about this? If she got the right person, the monologue was still the monologue. Can we keep it 100 here? So even if she didn't make a mistake, they knew, him and his wife knew that this was going to happen. That's why they needed them seated at a certain place. It wasn't just this unawareness that we don't know that something is about to happen. They knew that this was going to go down. Taraji messed up and started it off with the wrong person. And then the guy's like, yo, it's him over there. She slides down. She tries to correct it. But regardless, that was going to be the monologue. So I don't get it. But anyway, we're going to move into our feel-good story. Let me get into it. It's a really good one.
Get enough recognition. Now, one Black-owned business here in New York City is trying to change that. Ad agency Elite Media is the name. They just launched the Schoolies program. It's an initiative to help a public school in Harlem. So we were invited to Teachers College Community School for the announcement and a very special surprise just for the staff. Here's what happened yesterday.
Marker. Underline. This school absolutely feels like a family. We're a very small school, so we do have challenges sometimes, but everybody shows up and brings their best. 1, 2, 3. I do not feel that I have adequate resources to be able to meet the needs of my staff.
Do you agree or disagree?
I do my best, but there's always choices. If I spend money one way, it takes away from something else. Elite Media approached me with this great idea about, like, what do you need? We're a local business and we really want to give back to our school community. And we just started brainstorming ideas about what could we do within the partnership.
We believe that the schoolies can be a model for other corporations, other brands, other foundations to actually make an impact in their community. And I think a challenge can be put down to say, how can we all, as companies, small businesses, and big corporations, outgood each other, out-impact each other?
I'm so excited because we are about to surprise all of my staff. They do not see this coming. We're going to receive this huge grant, $150,000, which will equivalent around $3,000 per staff member. And they're going to find out that this grant money is allotted to them. When they walk in, they're thinking they're here for another show for the students, and to find out that all of this, it's all for them. The staff are going to lose their mind. What you do matters. From the bottom of this Harlem community's heart, thank you. And I have a bit more help for what we have in store next. Gail, could you help me out with this part?
I'm the special surprise. Look what Chris has here. What we want the teachers and the staff to do is reach under your seats. I hear there's a check for $3,000 for each of the teachers and the staff, or the teachers and the staff. This gift, this surprise comes with some strings attached. And the strings are, you have to spend it on yourself. You have to spend it on yourself.
First of all, can we say Gail King? Hello, it's Gail King. That was amazing. And then the $3,000 from Elite Media comes out underneath our chairs, and we're like, what?
We're still trying to figure out if it's real or not, but it's super, super exciting.
The recognition means a lot because as a teacher, we do a lot for the community and the kids, and people don't understand that it takes a village to raise kids, and every day it is a difficult challenge. But this is something that we love, so we come, put our best foot forward, and as long as we help one kid, we achieve for the day.
Wow. I know, that is how they feel. This money for the school staff is only the first of several phases of Elite Media Schoolies. Go Elite Media. This is amazing what you're doing. They plan on beautifying the school, enriching the curriculum, and even providing their own staff as grant writers so the school can secure even more resources. And Mrs. V, who's a principal yesterday, was her birthday.
Oh my God.
So in addition to all of that, they brought out a cake and cupcakes and sang happy. So she was caught off guard by that. It was like surprise after surprise after surprise. But all of us have teachers. That my sister's a teacher. Your mom was a teacher.
Yeah.
We know and love a teacher.
We can all remember
We know the
from
work they do.
our lives, the teachers that impacted us. And I love what you said, Gail, about there being no strings attached, because you know that teachers sometimes when they get a little extra money, what do?
They give to others.
They give to others, or they spend on their kids.
Yes.
And so the idea of spending it on yourself is such an important.
That was a wonderful parent. You get to do a lot of cool things in your life, living the Gail King life, but that's a very special
I thought that was really nice.
That's really cool.
They asked us if we wanted to participate, and we went, yes, please. Can we do? Can we do?
Also, the beautifying the school thing is a big deal. It's kind of like if you have new uniforms, you play better. You look good, you play good.
Yes.
So.
How does it go? If you look good, you feel good, you play good, and you get paid.
And you get
paid good.
That's right. That's right.
We all.
I thought that was just a great story. I also, what I really loved about the story is how they told them spend it on yourselves, right? Because there's definitely a profession where a lot of the teachers, they do get underpaid. There are teachers that will work a second job, and that second job is just so they can buy supplies to their room for their classrooms. So special love to all the teachers out there. This is a great program. And I thought it was amazing because this is the first time I've seen a program where they actually gave the money to the teachers and the staff, right? So I thought it was a really good thing. But listen, guys, y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit the like button coming in, hit the like button on your way out. I appreciate y'all for being here and coming through. Good night and goodbye, everybody. And I'll see y'all tomorrow night for Trending Topics.
Do not cheat the diva or strike down. Choo choo and beep beep. Bye bye.